This video could go very wrong for me, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I came across a video from Gemma over at Pampered Wolf, and she answered some questions that people don't usually answer. So even though I wasn't tagged in that video, I thought I'd do it myself. There are 15 questions and I'm picking 10. They're all listed below if you want to check them out. Now, some are about beauty, some are about YouTube, and some are probably a bit too honest. All right, we're going to start with this one because I do have a bit of beef here. Which beauty trends do I secretly hate but see everyone doing? Now, there were quite a few to choose from here, but I can only go with one. It's promoting anti-aging products on young skin. My beef here is actually two-pronged. One, it perpetuates the idea that young people who probably have perfect skin, or at least the best skin they'll ever have, that they actually need anti-aging products. I think it's misleading and downright harmful for young skin to be using actives built for mature skin. Leave your skin alone. Honestly, I am incredibly annoyed with brands who promote and pay for this carry-on. So I am a mature gal and I struggle to actually believe it when brands do this stuff. Now I'm 55. I have aging skin. I want to throw things when I see young girls talking about wrinkle reduction or sagging skin. You have got to be joking. I mean, your skin is perfect because you're 18 or 22 or even 32. Look, I know that young skin has its own problems, but aging is not it. Just stop this nonsense. I'm going to apologize in advance if this next one relates to you. Which sort of comments annoy you the most? It's when people give out to me, like genuinely get mad at me and say that I shouldn't be promoting expensive products when there are so many affordable ones. I get that, and I agree. I mean, there are tons of affordable products that I absolutely adore, and I talk about them. Maybe you just didn't see those videos. Like, I am super lucky that I get products in PR, and some of them can be a bit pricey. And I do love trying new things, but no one else has to try them. Like, let me just say, I'm not here to promote products. I just share my experience and my thoughts. I tell you what I've purchased or I've been given, what I've used, and what I would buy again. In fact, I'm a little selfish on this channel in that I make videos that I'm interested in. Like, I share what I actually use. Now, I do try to get discount codes where I can so we can all save a bit of money. And yes, I use my own discount codes when I shop. So I really hate it when people say that I'm peddling products, because I'm not. Now, I do have to say thank you because I know that some of you reply to these comments on my behalf, and it is such a delight to see. I mean, y'all are the best. So number 3 is probably the trickiest on this list. What is the most asked question in your comment section? And they're all sort of in the same territory. You know, what are the best products for my skin? Or do I need this particular product in my routine? Or where do I put this product in my routine? Those are the kind of very specific questions that a viewer asks. And it's almost an impossible thing to answer. You know, everybody's skin is different, tolerance is different, approach, available time, budget, preferences, pain points, and skin issues. But I always think to myself, how can I help this person without actually knowing anything? Because I genuinely do want to help if I can, and I will always respond. So generally, I answer with questions in an attempt to deliver an answer that might be helpful. So my most commonly asked question is probably the one that I struggle to answer the most. It's a shame. Okay, here's an interesting one. Do you ever feel pressure to always look perfect on camera? Not really. I mean, I like to be presentable, but perfect is never the goal, either on or off camera for that matter. Now, some days I do look better than others. Like today is not one of those days. I'm having a bad hair day, which is why it's back. But sure, that's life. Like, I don't try to stress too much about it. Now, funnily enough, I've actually learned a lot through these videos about what looks good on me and what doesn't. So when I review the edits of the videos, or even when I go and revisit a video from a year or two ago, I'm like, wow, that really didn't look good. This is where I started to really see the difference that colors can make. So I've decided that what I see in the mirror before I walk out the door isn't the same as what I see on video. And I actually think the video is right. For example, I've learned that crisp white and true black are not my colors. They just don't work with my skin, which I do find quite upsetting because my wardrobe is made up of so much of that. And then another thing is that I think because Gary sits behind the camera, say hi, Gary.
Hi.
He's waving. It's almost like I'm having a conversation with him, although he doesn't care about our topics, by the way.
Want to talk about golf, Mary?
I would love to talk about golf. I did take up golf, by the way. Anyway, so it doesn't feel to me like I'm on camera. I think if you told me I had to go on TV tomorrow, I would have a very different answer. Okay, number 5 hits a little close to home. Do you ever feel insecure about posting a video? I do. Gary can tell you, sometimes we put up a video and I go, was that shit? I mean, I do, right?
Yes.
Because I make videos that interest me. And I mean, I can't assume that what interests me interests other people. But I just keep going. You know, making videos about things that I think about or dabble in or want to learn more about. It can be beauty, it can be travel, it could be just about anything. And I am regularly surprised by which videos are a hit and which aren't. Like, I've done videos that I think are fantastic and I swear nobody watches them. They bomb, they tank. And it's hard not to look at the numbers and then ask the question, did I just not do a good job? I mean, frankly, it's just maybe people aren't interested. I don't know. But I just keep going. Now, the next one is actually super important to me. Have you ever given a product a positive review when you thought it was rubbish? That is a hard no. I think truth and honesty is really important in this game. There are a lot of people peddling a lot of products. And if you're like me, you just want a real story from a real person. So as I mentioned, I am sent a lot of products to try. And I have a general philosophy. If I'm sent products and I don't like them, I let the brand know and you won't hear about it at all. Like, I don't want to bash brands unless there's a serious reason, which I have done. Like, if I like them, I talk about them and why I like them. I'm here to really share the things that I enjoy. However, if I buy something myself and I don't like it, it's likely that I will tell you about it. Because of course there are dads. Like, not everything works for everyone. Like, I've had great products that just didn't work for my skin. And I'll definitely tell you that regardless of whether it's PR or purchased. Like, a great sunscreen that's just too drying for my aging skin, it might be perfect for someone with oily skin. So my issue is never saying something positive about a product I don't like. I just never mention it at all. I think when people are being paid to talk about a product, that's when the exposure begins. So I did work with one brand a few years ago because I was already such a huge fan and a frequent purchaser. But they gave me the complete freedom to do whatever video I wanted and say whatever I wanted. I'm not doing any paid work at all. So you're still getting my honest thoughts every single time. So number 7 was hard. What step in your makeup or skincare routine can you not skip under any circumstances? Now, this was between 2, and you probably know what they are, but I can only give one, so here it is. It's washing my face at the end of the day. Like, it has to start here. I have always felt that this was what made the biggest difference when I started doing it regularly. Like, when I actually started taking care of my skin. And y'all, that was pretty late in life. I'm not gonna lie. So I double cleanse probably 85% of the time, because sometimes a very thorough single cleanse is enough. And I truly think that there is no point in doing any skincare at night if you don't do this step. Funnily enough, I don't wash my face in the morning. Well, I mean, I do wash it with water, but it's only because my skin has become so dry. But a proper cleanse in the evening is a must. I can't say never ever skip. I am human, and occasionally too many glasses of wine renders me defenseless. But I do my darndest every single day to wash my face. Okay, the next one is a no-brainer. If people bumped into you in real life, what would surprise them the most? I wonder what your answer would be, Gary. This is so easy. He just said it with his hands. In fact, I just asked my daughter for the answer, and she said very quickly the same thing Gary just said. Your height. He went like this. People are always shocked by my height. I'm only 5 feet, and apparently I have the mouth of a statuesque woman. Big mouth, small body. Like, this has been the case my whole life. Like, in my 20s, I worked for a publisher organizing events, and every single time I met a new team member, they said the same thing. But my mama, who's only 4'10", I tower over her. She always says that big things come in small packages. Okay, number 9 is actually kind of funny, in my opinion. What's the most unflattering comment about your appearance that stuck with you? I talk too much. Seriously. I actually get that a fair amount. Now, Gary will tell you, I'm a talker.
Yes, you are.
No filter, perhaps an oversharer. Mm-hmm. But dude, this is a YouTube channel. It's where we talk, right? Like maybe YouTube isn't for people who don't want long form content. Stick with shorts or TikTok or Instagram. Like you're supposed to talk here, right? That's the point. So I sort of don't understand this comment in response to a YouTube video. If it was an Instagram story that took 7 stories to complete, I would get that. Or a 10-minute reel, because IG isn't really the platform for that. So I'm a little confused by this. Now, if I must speak about my appearance, the one that I get the most is about the scar on my lip. I do get, what's wrong with your lip? I do get that. I had a bad car accident in high school that resulted in lots of plastic surgery, and this was the scar that's the most visible. But it doesn't bother me. I'm totally not bothered by the comments. I'm more bothered by the fact that people like to be mean. Like, what's that about? But I have to say, I'm shocked by how few mean comments I get. I keep waiting, but apparently y'all are just a bunch of really kind, interested people. I love my YouTube community. And the very last question. If I could only use one high-end product for the next 5 years and all the rest must be affordable, which product would I choose? This answer will come as no surprise, and it's a very easy one. There's only one. Augustinus Bader, the Rich Cream. Now, I try a lot of products, and to this day, no moisturizer beats it. Believe me, I wish something would. Like, I can't say for sure it's the proprietary TFC8 complex that makes this so great. What I can say is nothing is more perfect on my skin. I would bathe in Bader if I could afford it, but it's insanely expensive. And I don't buy super luxury stuff. I'm budget to mid-tier all the way. Yes, I'll spend $120 on a few select things, but mostly I don't have to. You know, not this big one. This big one's like 450 euros. They did send this to me, by the way, which they never do. I just got very lucky. But their standard one is like 290 euros. But this I have been buying for 5 years. I buy it once a year at full price, and then I look for sales. And a lovely subscriber, Borka in Pennsylvania, actually picked this up for me twice at her local TJ Maxx for half the price, and then sent it to my dad's house in California. So my last couple of rounds I've gotten from her. She's actually keeping me stocked up. Borka, thank you. So guys, those are my 10. Some of them were slightly uncomfortable, but there you go. I'd actually love to know, which did you find the most interesting, or one that you completely disagree with? It's definitely not going to be the one about being short if you've met me. And if you're watching this and you're a creator, and I know my pals probably are, consider yourself tagged, because I would love to see how other people answer these questions. Thank you so much for joining today, and we'll see you at the next video. Bye. And if you like this video, YouTube thinks you're going to like this next one.